What's up, everybody? Hope you had a wonderful weekend, a great Veterans Day, and some time with your friends and family. We're going to be getting started here in just about 3.625 minutes. So, everybody, I want to see those emojis. All you members here early, drop your emoji. Spam the chat with your favorite emojis. We're going to be adding some more the more members we get. So, shout out to everybody. Hope you're feeling good. Hope your charts are looking good. Hope your portfolio is pumping good. Let's get this going. Let's get this music up and let's vibe. What's up, what's up, what's up? Everybody's showing up early. Big love to each and every one of them. Each and every one of you. I see we got Crimson Caravan, Alexandra G, Sawtooth Hiker, Cade Pulliam, Doom CRPT, Doom Crypt, I guess? Doom CRPT or Doom Crypt, I'm not really sure. Bit Voodoo, what's up? How you doing? Donato Cabrera, how you doing? How you feeling? JS, Red Elephant, Rafiq Ghafoor. We got all the usuals, all the unusual suspects here in the house. I'm feeling good, guys. I hope you're feeling good. Market's getting exciting to get it. Even if it pulls back from here, hey, excitement's back in the market. Let's be prepared. Let's stay in the right position, baby. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good night. Welcome to the BitLab Academy daily stream. Man, it is white in here. Did not realize that with this. You know what? Let me throw on my little jacket here so it's not so white on white. Hope you're all feeling good. Markets, it's been getting exciting with these capital flows we've been talking about, going from Bitcoin pumping up and then seeing some of those profits being taken out or less capital flowing in while it gets oscillated into those different altcoins. We see Solana pumping like majorly over $50 up to 58. Of Avalanche seeing really good gains this weekend. Ethereum still holding strong. We're seeing a lot of coins perform well. Is this going to be something that's going to be sustained through the bull, all the way through the halving and beyond? Are we going to look for some chop? There's some key things that we want to look to. There's some key things we want to pay attention to, and I'm going to be pulling those up right now. Sorry, 1 second. I was running to get all this stream set up, but I just want to say before we go any further, is it here? Okay, it's all set up. Before we go any further, make sure you head over to my page right here at Kellam. Let me go ahead. I had to reboot my computer, which is why I was a couple seconds late there. Let me pull this up. What page is this? What page is this? Boom, right there. Yeah, so make sure you're giving me a follow right here at KELLYKELLAM. There we go. And make sure you're following BitLab Academy right here at Academy BitLab. You can see this is the same level. Kevin Svensson, I'm going to have him come on the channel. Same levels that I've been watching and I keep talking about. And I'm not trying to be a bearer of bad news and, bring the market down and I'm so bearish. No, I'm looking for the opportunities for when the likely pullback will be if I can be in position. And this is that same level that I was talking about and pointing out on my charts for the last couple of weeks. And let's go ahead and pull this up. We can see this is right in that $31,000 region, this previous high. Now, market has been pushing up, but let's look at the formation right here. Does it mean that this cannot go higher? Absolutely not. This can absolutely go all the way. I mean, it could push all the way up to 48, 52. It can do whatever it wants, but I'm going to be prepared for either direction it goes. Before we go any further, I do want to do a special shout out to every single one of you that tuned in over the weekend to the interview that we had with the Rational Root. And that is go to video playlist, pulling it up right now, Daily Alpha, view full playlist. Come on, buddy. Come on. That is this one right here. If you go to youtube.com/@BitLab Academy, it was this video right here. Bitcoin on-chain signals, is 100x possible? Over the time period, I don't think it's going to be this next cycle. It may not even be the cycle after that, but there's been a dynamic shift in data in terms of the behavior on chain, as well as the available supply, what people are doing with their coins, the strength of long-term holders, new capital coming in. There's plenty of incredible signals. If you have not watched this video, head over to this page. And if the members, if you guys, there we go. Alexander G shared it in the chat. Go give that a view if you have not yet. Now, looking here back at this chart, this is that area. Could markets just push up from here? There's a lot of exuberance. There's a lot of bullish. I'm bullish as I could be, but I'm so bullish that it scares me. I'm so bullish. When you see me calling out lower prices, it's because I am risk managing my own natural bias of wanting the markets to go higher. So I look, if I really think it's going to go there, I really want it to go there, meaning up, then I'm like, well, I'm probably ignoring the downside. So when I outline and I look for potential downside targets, in no way does it mean that I'm not bullish. In fact, it's because I'm so bullish. Now, I want to just say again, special shout out to every one of you members that are here, members on the channel. I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste that up into the top of the, go ahead and join, become a member, get access to all these crazy emojis and also some special streams and gifts and all kind of different things throughout the week and the weekends. Go ahead and you can join right there. It's going to be popping up in chat right there. Boom. Alrighty. This is when your mornings get compressed, it really messes things up. Look at those lab coats in there. Big shout out to all the lab coats here. Now, I just want to continue on here. We have to pay attention to this area. price absolutely can continue higher. It could also do something like this, where we get this trap to the upside, only to come down and work our way all the way down. Pushing across, trap to the upside, working our way come all the way down. Currently, we're still pushing up. This is still rounding. We still could even just round out up here into the $38,000 to $40,000 range and then work ourselves sideways and just have a smaller dip, because this trend line is ascending. It's rising, meaning the level at which this was back here is down in the 15.5 level. The level this was is about 25,000. The level, excuse me, this next level where this previous highs are is 31,000. But if price actually pushes up and has a sustained underlying bullishness, then this price action could push up a little higher or even trade sideways, come all the way over here. And, you know, if this meets this line at this level, this would be all the way $36,000, $37,000. So on a daily basis, and every moment you're looking at these charts, you need to ask yourself where you're at in the market cycle. And remember, I talked about this a lot early on this stream when we started early 2023. By the way, shout out every one of you that's been here since that first month or two or first 6 weeks. Let me know in chat right now. If you're an OG, type in OG right now. But, sorry, I had to sneeze there and I was waiting on it. Or cough, I mean. With whatever happens on this price, we need to understand where we're at in the market cycle. And the market cycle, I always consider it in terms of 3 different cycles: the macro, the midterm, and the micro. So on the macro, you could be in a bull market. In the midterm, you could be pulling back. In the micro, you could be pulling back in the context of a macro bull market, but be pushing up in the micro. So there's different time periods you want to look at and understand what's going to be the best strategy at play for you right now. Now, when we come over here and we look at these different charts, we've talked about the S&P 500 decoupling from Bitcoin. Bitcoin, I should say, decoupling from the S&P 500. Well, we can see that, yes, we had this massive divergence, but the price action is pushing up. But now it looks like Bitcoin is starting to roll over while this blue line is aiming back to the upside. So there's a little bit of confusion here. And this stands to make sense that we have this sort of, they're kind of tied up at the moment. Why? Because we have the CPI and the PPI. We have all kind of different things that are really big data points this week. Let's go ahead and come over here to Forex Factory calendar. And we see today we have the federal budget balance. Okay, great. Tomorrow, we got FOMC member Jefferson speaks. We got NFIB Small Business Index. Okay, then we have at 8:30 a.m. before our stream goes live tomorrow, we have the core CPI month over month, CPI month over month, and the CPI year over year. Or essentially the core consumer price index. We're seeing which direction, or if it's staying still, the inflation levels are going, the cost of things that we're buying when we're out in the world. You and me, the retail. What is the cost of things for us? This is the index of that. And of course, let's not even get started about a lot of the potential sort of adjustments to those things in terms of the manipulation, because I know when they were saying inflation was 8%, I'm going to the grocery store going, how the hell is my shopping cart 40% more expensive if inflation's only 8%? So that's a whole nother topic. But the point being here is we have these conversation pieces that have been happening, and everybody's trying to debate right now. Everybody's trying to figure out where the market's going, because that's what you're doing. The market is taking the direction of where they think the value is headed. It's everybody pricing in where they think the market's going to move. And all of us that are trading it are trying to take advantage of the oscillations and the volatility in price along the way. Now, if you're investing, then you're maybe just trying to find a good opportunity for a good buy. But all of us traders, and I'm a little bit of both. I have a lot, mostly in investment, and then I have an allocation specifically for trading. But with these things like CPI that are so boring, I can't believe everybody in crypto has been talking about CPI and monetary policy, blah, blah. This is the deal. If you want an edge in this market, you got to pay attention to things broader than the specific thing you're interested in. It's much like a relationship between a man and a woman. A lot of women say, man, men don't listen. We don't pay attention to paying attention to the broader picture, understanding the underlying emotions and it's the same thing as trading, because looking at price action on a chart is a metric of watching the emotions of different participants in the market over time. It's a graph of the psychology of the market. And if you could take advantage of reading into that, seeing on your price action, on your chart of whatever asset you're looking at, if you understand the price action and then zoom out a little bit and understand the different things that are affecting that, you know, what is feeding those narratives? What narratives are feeding the different types of emotionality within that asset's market? And so when we're looking at CPI and monetary policy and all these things, it's because it's having a great impact on where people think broadly the market's going to go, where they're forecasting it may be headed. And the market price is one of the most democratic things on the planet, minus any of the institutional, you know, manipulations there. But we're seeing everybody vote with their dollars and their emotions, buying and selling and hope and fear. And then those people that make it over time are those that are not buying and selling in hope and fear, but they're picking their price, they're buying, and they're holding for whatever period of time they have set, and they have a different set of strategies that lets them know when to get out. So when we're looking at CPI, when we're looking at monetary policy, when we're looking at all these things, it's helping us understand where the risk narrative is going. And Bitcoin is still tied in with that risk narrative. As much as we want it to be a hedge against all these things, it is still tied in with the risk narrative. Now, it's my estimation that we're already in the throes of starting to change that relationship. But it doesn't mean it's a permanently changed relationship with risk. We're going to have oscillations into and out of risk and being tied to, for instance, what kind of stuff's happening with tech stocks and what's happening with all these different things that are affecting what's going on in the market. Bitcoin is the best asset in the history of the world, but it's still young, and so we need to pay attention to this. I think I've talked too much. I think you want to see some charts, so let's come over here and look at this. We were talking about the correlation. It's kind of hinky right now. It's trying to figure out what's going on. Now, we saw a break in correlation, but if you really look at this across the time period that this entire chart shows, by the way, this chart is one of the charts on, you know, the rational root. This chart is up now. Sorry about that. This is a Bitcoin strategy platform, the Rational Root, whose interview we did on Saturday. This is where you can find his charts. But what I want you to notice is, yeah, we saw a break in correlation right here, but this is, can you consider something as completely permanently decoupled from something because you had a multi-month period or even a multi-week into multi-month period that there was a break in correlation? Look at this broadly over time. When this is up, this has broadly gone up. Yes, we had a deviation here with Bitcoin where it dropped, but this is a Chinese mining ban. But then market was still going up. Bitcoin got buoyed, came back up. Now it starts coming down. S&P 500, traditional markets also coming down. Look at this. They kind of bottomed roughly about the same spot, started coming up. So is there really a decoupling? No, there's just periods of time where there is a decoupling. This is a 40-day correlation where you can see it a little more zoomed in. Okay. And you can see the metric right here, the correlation, negative or positive correlation. And we see just like anything, it oscillates. So coming over to this chart right here, we're still looking incredibly good. This is the Bitcoin as it relates to the 21-week moving average, which I can make blink right here if I click on this. This is the 21-week moving average. See that line coming on and off? It's marked great zones here for both a bottom reversal to the upside and a retrace to the upside, rejection back down. And I mean, also marked roughly about the bottom here. It's been a very strong level. Then we have the 200-day moving average right here, which is another great average. A lot of, especially broader, longer term and longer term focused retail investors also will use things like the 200-day moving average, but you can also get a general sense of the trend broadly for this asset. And we're holding way above that. And it's just interesting that all these grouped up in this territory right here. And then we launched right through what? The short-term holder cost basis, this line right here, which you can see in a way is kind of been almost like an aggregate. It's not in any way, but it's almost been like a little bit of an aggregate signal for roughly the trend that you're in. Or if you're below the short-term holder cost basis, it's very likely you're in a bearish trend. If you're above it, you're very likely in a bullish trend. In fact, I don't want to zoom out on this. In fact, if you zoom out on a longer term chart, you'll see all bull markets start with the break at the short-term holder cost basis, and the price action bounces on it all the way up until it ultimately loses it and then retraces up into it, gets rejected, and that's essentially a very strong start to a bear market. And we see right here, this is where we lost it. This is a short-term holder cost basis. You see this right here? And then what do? We come up, we get rejected, and I mean, this was all the way, where did this reject? $47,000, and price went all the way down to $15,000. So we have broken back above it. But this is where that argument comes into play, or the debate, the internal monologue that we have of fighting the good and the evil and the hopes and the emotions and the strategy, that we want this to just go up, up and away, because this felt like it took forever. The price was just falling like a freaking rock right into the water. But we've already, look at this, we've already come down, tested it. We already lost it here, rejected on it, pushed back up. Now, this is what I hope happens. All this to say, we talked about this right here, this chart. This level, 31,700, 31,000, this box from this high to this high, projected over, likely area for price to come back to. Now, depending on the time frame, there's a very strong possibility if the price action holds up here and some people take some profits, etc., or this pushes a little bit higher and comes back, that the short-term holder cost basis is going to move up. Look, it's already right here. It's already at 30,115. So if the price action at some point either here or, excuse me, in a couple weeks comes back down, then not only do we have this previous highs, we also have the short-term holder cost basis marking a little bit of support there as well. Granny's Garden, how you doing? I see you with the beaker emoji. To see, yeah, everybody smash the likes, hit that subscribe button, join us here in BitLab Academy. I love you all. I appreciate you all. And I also just wanted to shout out, we've had a lot of really great, let me switch out of this. We've had a lot of really great charts and picks and everything in the BitLab Discord, the premium Discord area. From even coins you've never even heard about, coins that I don't even bring up on the YouTube channel here, but stuff that you get in the premium Discord here with different charts and setups and what, you know, the areas that people are looking at. And I mean, I'm telling you, get in the BitLab Discord and take advantage of all these incredible charts. And John Dalton, absolute pro trader, Corduroy. We got a lot of people here. I'm posting in here. Alex Green's posting in here. We got a lot of different people posting really great things in here in the premium Discord. You get that over at bitlabacademy.com. Just come up here, click and roll, sign up for the all access. Get in there. You get access to all the courses as well as the premium Discord. These are all the courses right here. Boom. And we're still working on many, many more. But I want to move on here. Global liquidity. This is what I've been talking about for about a month and a half. We're waiting for this to start rounding out, looking like it could potentially start moving up. This is going to be one of the biggest factors in markets, not just with crypto, but world economy, markets everywhere. When liquidity injection starts coming into the markets, how do you think the grass grows? You got to water it. And this is a water that the markets will need. If this does start pushing back up, look at this deviation. I've talked about this a lot. Huge impulse of new capital here. Look at Bitcoin flat, and then boom, that's when it's exploded right at the beginning of the year this year. Now, moving on to this next chart, fair value. We're knocking our head on that door. Knocking our head on that door. $41,900, basically $42,000. But are we going to get something like this? This is what I'm talking about. Before, I was showing you on the chart potential. Everybody thinks it's going to go up or go down. Nobody tells you about the pain of sideways. Sideways is a yeah, that's right. You know what I was about to say. But you see price action pushed right up into this fair value zone right here. This was back when it was $485. And some people didn't buy here. I just want to point this out. Some people did not buy here because they thought they missed Bitcoin. They missed it. It's already $485. I'm not going to buy it because it was all the way down here at under $1. It's already at 400. It's too high. Same thing happened over here. Price action, you know, either whether it be up here or down, anywhere on this chart, really, to be frank. But people feel like, oh, you know, there's no way. This failed coming up to the previous high. So there's no way. I'm not going to buy this. No, I'm not going to buy this. I've already missed it. And or Bitcoin's a failure. I mean, it already hit 18,000. It's never going that high again. You saw this rally. It went from $3,500 to $13,800. It failed. Yeah, it's not going back up. So people didn't buy. But you know what? You see all these dots right here? These are when we break previous all-time highs. So all-time high, that's all-time highs as this goes up. And a lot of these people that think, oh, Bitcoin's dead or it's too high, I missed it. Those same kind of people are the type of people that buy this. Top hype cycle buyers. If you're buying on hype, then you have no freaking strategy and you're going to give your money to me and you're going to give your money to other professional traders. Because what's going to happen is we sold into this right here. We're buying low, selling high. That is the name of the game. And I don't do it with my entire portfolio, but I take allocations that I'm trading. And as price moves up, what the hell am I in this market for if I'm not also trying to change my life? If I'm not trying to change my friends and my family and all of your lives? And in order to do that, I need capital. This world is not just a purely Bitcoin and crypto-based economy yet. Now, you can also utilize all that stuff, as we've seen with Didi Taihutu, one of the guests we've had on here, who lives a truly Bitcoin life. But I still straddle in both worlds. I still go to the movies. I still go out to eat. I still, pay my rent. There's a lot of things that I do that requires capital, buying gifts for my family and my loved ones. If I need to take a trip, if I need to help my sister with something. In order to do that, rather than spending capital that's losing value, I invest in something in a trading portfolio to give myself capital to have expended. Basically, it's my expenditure budget. So I look for periods of times like these, where we're still at here, and take profits, starting to take profits once we eclipse and break through the previous all-time high. So the point being is right here, you didn't miss the boat because we got a bit of a pump. If you've been beating yourself up because you missed it and the market's finally moving and, oh man, why did it? Let that go. Just hug yourself. Hug yourself. Say, okay, I could have made a better decision, but there's still opportunity. Let's find that opportunity. So let's go ahead and do some TA. We got to break down. By the way, I will be doing another, the BitLab Discord stream this afternoon. So look out for that. It'll say events in the top left corner. It's not there yet. I'm going to post it right after the stream. But we got some stuff we're going to look at. We're going to look at some of the things that have been moving over the weekend and some other ones of interest. But we got to look at what's going on. Now, I'm going to start with Link. I want you to notice something. See this mark right here? I drew this when the price was pushing somewhere. I think it was over here. And I said, if we break down and confirm a breakdown below this level, price action is probably going to continue down further. We'll probably have a steeper correction. And I said this in the BitLab Discord, in the free area, in open chat. We scroll up. Where is it at? Right here. So, yesterday. Look for a longer trend line on the 4-hour breakdown. Point is $15.70. Also bearish divergences on the 4-hour and the daily. Price action is a bit irrational right now, so trade smart. This is exactly what's been playing out. Price action came down. It did bounce here, and then we still have lower highs come down. And then I want you to notice through all this period, look at this zone right here with all this orange line, all the way from right here, option V, all the way from here, price action is getting higher, and we see lower and lower and lower highs on the stochastics. We also see momentum divergence with this red line. See this red line right here that's auto-populated here on the chart? There's two of them. Let me scroll over. Bearish divergences and momentum. This price was pushing up. So I looked for, okay, well, what line am I going to look for? I'm going to look for near a low of this range that's coming in that's correlated with the trend line that's coming all the way, in this case, all the way back to November, right at the beginning of November. It feels so much further because I've been looking at big charts lately. I'm looking at the 1-hour chart, but we're seeing all the way from here. We have this rising support channel, support trend line all the way up to here. And look at these expansion back down, still expansion, back down, stronger expansion, another expansion higher, back down. Now, look at this, much lower. Between these two highs, is there that much of a gap? No. Between this high and this high, huge gap. There's a clear change in the narrative from the bulls. The steam that they had, the energy that they had, the power that they had is starting to look like they need to take a little bit of a breather. And if they're taking a breather, the bears are going to be there waiting. The question with these types of time frames in the market when we're looking at these signals is If the bulls are taking the breather, the bears are likely ready and waiting. The question is going to be, are they going to let this drop? Have the bulls lost conviction, or is this just a breather for the bulls, allowing for price to get pushed down so that they can come in and buy and send it back higher? That's the question. Now, I would argue that where we're at right now with the market, look at this with Chainlink. It's a sexy looking asset right now. This is pushing higher. But am I buying right here? I would rather this price action. I'd rather miss this all the way up here into 31. My strategy. If this just continues shooting higher, I would rather miss this all the way up here and wait to buy the pullback. In this case right now, I'm waiting right now. We're starting to see this pullback. We see this trend line quite clearly right here. This trend line. I'm looking for a pullback. And where do we look? Well, there's a couple different things we can do. Let's go ahead and delete this Fibonacci. Come here to the top. Actually, come right here. Option F from the bottom all the way to the top there. And we see the golden pocket is right here. This is at basically $11, $10.92. And we also see, I can see it clearly just because I know how let me turn the volume off. There we go. See, right? I'm going to delete this just so we can see. Golden pocket's right here. Now, does this mean I think price is going to come all the way down here? I don't know. If we're very bullish, price might only come back here to this 382. So in this case, I can set up two different entries at minimum for a pullback, basically buy entry. So I could set up a buy entry right here at the 13, 16 sort of zone, and then another buy entry. I would front run this a little bit because of all this price action right here, which gives a larger node of interest of where price action, there's been price activity and price action interest in buying and selling these levels. And this sits just above this golden pocket. So this would be right around the 1111 to 1130 range. So this way, maybe this comes down, bounces and zooms up. I don't get this one filled, but at least I got some of it here. Maybe it comes down and gets both. Great setup. Point being is you're never going to know where price is really going to go and what follow through it's going to have, especially because we don't know what the news narratives are going to be, especially in crypto, that can really send a price moving in one direction or another. So as it stands right now, it's looking like Chainlink wants to potentially come down a little bit on the daily. Look at all this red. Bearish divergence right here from this point to this point. We see this high and this high's lower. We see this high's higher. When your signals, the tops of your signals, the high points, if the older one to the newer one, if the newer one is lower than the previous high, and we see on the price action, this high and then the newer high is much higher, that's what's known as a bearish divergence. We got to pay attention to these. Now, again, things are acting as irrational as they could be right now. This is why I'm breaking up my entries, and I'm also not just going to buy just because we got a small pullback right here. Now, you could be very aggressive here and buy this zone because we do have a little bit of a node here where price action did hesitate. Throw some in, have a tight stop loss. You could do that. Now let's go ahead and look at Solana. Where was Sol? That's not it. Solana. Question is, everybody that's here right now, we got 108 people in the room. Have you hit the like button? Have you hit that subscribe button? Ding the bell. And if you look at the very top of the BitLab Academy live chat, there's an area where you can join us here, sharing all these emojis, help support the channel, and also get access to some really great stuff that we have that we're doing just for members only. And I'll be kicking that off this week as well. So join us here. I think when we get 14 more members, we got some more emojis that we're going to be adding. So I'd love to see you in here. But maybe a Band-Aid. Shout out again to all the members in the chat. Drop me your 2 or 3 favorite emojis. I want to see what you guys are liking. I had a good time adding some more this weekend. As we get more members, we're able to add more. So I'm going to go ahead and look at Solana. This is that level. Remember, I called it in the private stream on Discord. Price action would likely reject here and look for a little bit of a pullback before continuation. This is exactly what happened. And where did it go? This was the next target I had marked out. And yes, we overshot that a little bit. That's okay. You're not going to hit 100% on the dollar of everything that you ever see. So what do we see here? Well, we see a little bit of bearish divergence here. Right here on the, let me go ahead and make this bright as it can be. Go white, let's go dot straight line. So you see this bearish divergence from this high to this high. This is much higher, but this stochastics is a little bit lower. Now it's not the end of the world because Solana's been showing, this is one of those things. We're getting very excited. Look at those lab rat coats. I like the lab rats. That's my favorite one. The lab rat and the silly face with the tongue out and the chicken. Those are my favorite. But we're seeing, you know, integrations with Solana just flipped. I don't want to say flipped. It just overtook Ethereum for the number of active addresses. We're seeing positive developments come in. We're seeing this story right here. Crypto fund inflows at asset managers such as CoinShares, 21 Shares, Bitwise, Grayscale, ProShares broke past 1 billion for the year, adding 293 million to a 7-week run of inflows. These are into those funds. This is more retail and also institutions. Year-to-date inflows now at 1.14 billion. Now, the point here is, the reason why I brought this up, where is it at? I thought it said it right here. Basically, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. Here we go. The Solana-based funds also witnessed significant inflows of 12.4 million in a week where the crypto asset rose over 40%. So we're seeing broader interest from just crypto degens. We're seeing retail, we're seeing institutions, we're seeing real money coming into the space and supporting this. So when I see something like this and I see a bearish divergence, considering what's on the horizon right now, I'm not going to say I'm just going to ignore this divergence, but I'm going to be looking for a stronger likelihood on any pullback that we will have a continuation to the upside. That's the point here. Now, looking at this, if this does reject and come down, we have this order block that's directly above us directly below us and above us. But also this sits right on top of where these previous highs were. So if we do get a pullback, because currently right now, this is looking, let me move this. I don't need this there anymore. This is looking, ooh, that's looking pretty ugly, actually. Some people will want to look at this and be like, we've got a bull flag, which we very well could. But the fact that we have this and then this sort of this is indicative of me that it is trying to have a pullback and the bulls just aren't letting it. So when we do lose this level, I'm looking at coming down here into the 44 to 46 range. 44 on the low side. I would say 46. This is area. If we lose this level, then I think we're coming down to retest this rising level of support that's below us down here, down in the, over here. This would probably be all the way in the 40s, but that's if we get strong follow through the downside. This market is starting to move irrationally. Everybody's looking at the hopium for all this spot ETFs. Now think about this. We have all these spot ETF mass approvals that everybody's, you know, trying to clickbait you into thinking is going to happen. It's a potential. The likelihood is further, it's on the less likely side than likely. So don't just trade the rumor. That's the point here. Now, if this does continue up, if this was a bull flag, which I don't think it is, I'll do this a little more conservatively. I'll do it from the bottom side here. This would send, look at that, right up into this next line. And I did not plan that. That's just how TA works out. I mean, previous lows right here. So could we see a $77? Could we see a $77 Solana? We could, but I do think we're going to have to see which way it breaks out of here. Now, if that were to take place, then I hope you could be in position and use the strategies we talk about here on the channel. Come in here, set your long position. Set, you know, I wouldn't front run this trying to buy the bottom of this pattern. I would watch for, you know, a zone right in here, something like this. And then you can also, option F. So there we go. So I took from the high to the low of this pattern. We have a 1.618, which is right here at $69. So I would be taking some profits there on this breakout because that's just a projected area that there's going to be a likely area of interest. And if this is a target a lot of people see, you also want to make sure you have some off the table before it potentially also could have a stiff rejection and come down and you completely, you're in a great trade, then you end up underwater, especially if you're not having stop losses. So make sure you're putting in your stop losses if you do take this trade. If this breaks down, then this isn't as big of a fall because that's about 14%. Still a decent that's still a decent trade even on spot. But so just be careful as things start to run away. Don't jump in just because it's moving. Jump in because you understand the project you're trading, and you've mapped out the levels. You have an understanding of what your strategy, and you take the shot based on your strategy. I want to look at Avalanche before we go. And I'll be looking at we'll be doing a lot more TA and some lesson stuff in the BitLab Discord this afternoon. So definitely get in on that. Let's go ahead and get him over to AVAX. Actually, I have a better chart for that right here. Where are you at? Boom. Avalanche. Look at that. Where did it go? I didn't draw that line. Oh, wait, I did many months ago. This line, what is it? Let's zoom out. Let's see what projected to us that was a level to watch. Oh, wouldn't you know it? The high to this next retrace into this zone, that was projected out, and it didn't seem like it was a possible thing. We were way down here, and then look at that. We broke out. This is a weekly candle. Look at this. Once we broke this, boom, next candle hit right on it. It's as if previous price action helps give you a roadmap as to what's likely going to happen in the charts that you're trading. So now we've touched this level. We have these really teal candles. These are high buying volume candles. And then we have stopping volume, which is why this candle's yellow. Stopping volume, now doesn't mean it just is going to reject down. It means we need to take a breather and at minimum plan for upside and downside because there's a change in narrative that's struggling right here. Now if price action, let's get down to the 4 hour. Let's go to the 2 hour actually. Okay, 2 hour, it's looking like it's trying to roll over. Look, what do we get here? Lower low from here. If we get a lower high here, that's a confirmation to me that this is likely testing further down. Meaning, if this price action, it's already lower. If this comes up and finds a rejection somewhere in here and comes down, then I think we're coming down, down here into the 14s. And if we can't hold that, then likely, even further down into the 12s. But as it stands right now, things are getting irrational because here on the 2 hour, this did pull out. This has pulled back. It's looking like it's trying to get ready to move again. Why do I say that? Stochastics. Very low. Down here at 8%. You see this? Each time these are low. Look at where price was and then what happened shortly after. This got low. We got a small push and then sideways and then continuation. This got very low right here. A little further down and then move to the upside. When these get very low, there tends to be an oscillation in behavior and as a reversal. It doesn't mean there's going to be a very strong reversal, but this is saying that there's trying to be that attempt. And if this attempt is a lower high than this, then I think that this is going to struggle a bit and work its way down. That's what I'm seeing right now. Everybody, I hope you're feeling good. Everybody, throw in your favorite emoji, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Join us here in the BitLab family. A big love to you all. Get involved in the Discord. Head over to bitlabacademy.com. Join us here. Hit that enroll button. I believe Give Me 30 is still active. Give Me, GIVEME 30, 30% off. And you get access to all the courses we have and the premium Discord with all these different VIP channels and charts and requests and scalps and gems and calls. And there's a lot in here. I love you all. Hope you all have a wonderful day. I'll see you over on Discover Crypto. Come drop some positivity from our BitLab community. Hit the like button on the way out, and I'll see you later. Adios. Adios, muchachos. Thank you for coming. Thank you for always tuning in. Hit that like button, mother suckers.